Okay, the 2025 Buffalo Bills are scary. Scary for defenses.
First-year player, I should say, is the man protecting, and Henry lost the football. And the Bills.
Scary for the AFC.
And makes the play on a second bounce. Mike, this game is nuts.
And scary for anyone who doubted Josh Allen.
Off the fake, rolling. He can run if he has to. Instead, he flips it for the touchdown.
After years of heartbreak and near misses, Josh Allen finally looks surrounded by the perfect mix of weapons, coaching, and momentum. In a conference where the usual heavyweights look vulnerable, Buffalo suddenly feels like the team everyone else has to chase. This year, it isn't about potential. It's about power. The Bills have the quarterback, the depth, and the battle scars to finally break through. And that's what makes them so dangerous. For starters, we have to talk about the star of the show, the 2024 NFL Most Valuable Player, Josh Allen. Allen has been an elite quarterback in this league for a number of years now, but in 2024, he was crowned as the very best in the business, narrowly beating out fellow AFC superstar Lamar Jackson to win his first league MVP, becoming the first Bills winner since Thurman Thomas in 1991. Allen's 2024 season was phenomenal, putting up 3,731 yards and 28 touchdowns, while throwing just 6 interceptions across his 17 games. On the ground, he added an extra 531 yards and 12 touchdowns, confirming his position as one of the great dual-threat quarterbacks of this era, and indeed of any era, as he was nearly impossible to deal with throughout the year. He might already be the best quarterback on planet Earth, and at the age of 29, he's only getting better. In the season opener against the Baltimore Ravens, Allen came out on top in a game where he threw for 394 yards, rushed for 30, and contributed 4 total touchdowns for the Bills. Allen was superb on that Sunday night, but numbers like this are just another day at the office for him. Allen has now managed 4 total touchdowns in 23 games in his career, including 5 in the 2024 season, and he's put up 300 passing yards on 33 occasions since 2020. And yet, the numbers still don't convey just how well Josh Allen is playing this season. You don't need any statistics to tell you that when you sit down and watch Josh Allen play the quarterback position, you're watching something special. His highlight reel is up there with absolutely anyone in the league right now, both on the ground and through the air. In the Week 3 matchup at home to Miami, we saw the kind of plays that make Josh Allen who he is. During the second quarter, he rolls out, fakes a handoff to James Cook before seemingly running a bootleg towards the end zone. However, at the last second, he simply flips a 5-yard pass to rookie tight end Jackson Hawes for his first career touchdown and a 14-7 Bills lead. Plays like that emphasize the style points that Allen has racked up during his time in Buffalo. But, of course, there's much more to his game that makes him the force of nature that he is. The thrilling Week 1 comeback against Baltimore was his 14th career fourth quarter comeback, ranking well above Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow, and highlighting just how often Allen comes through in the clutch. And when your star quarterback can turn around a 15-point deficit in the fourth quarter against one of the league's very best teams, that's a scary guy right there. Someone who strikes fear into the hearts of absolutely anyone. On the whole, Allen appears to be a real leader on and off the field. Allen is the talisman and the beating heart of this franchise, and honestly, the entire city of Buffalo. Right now, he carries the weight of the city's hope on his shoulders as the Bills Mafia yearns for a first title in franchise history. But on this offense, he doesn't shoulder those hopes all by himself. In 2025, this Bills offense is loaded with top offensive weapons which can hurt absolutely any team in the NFL. After losing Stephon Diggs at the end of the 2023 season, some wondered if this free-scoring offense would be able to keep it up without Josh Allen's number 1 target. It turns out the answer to that question was a resounding yes, as the Bills put up 525 points last season, the most in franchise history, scoring at least 30 points in 12 of their 17 regular season games. In 2025, they've kept all the key pieces together, and they look even better this time around. The most exciting advancement in this team's offense is the continued development of second-year receiver Keon Coleman. Coleman was a second-round pick out of Florida State in 2024 and had a solid rookie season, with 556 yards and 4 touchdowns, despite missing 4 games with injury. However, after a year of building chemistry with Allen and adapting to the pro game, he looks like a different prospect this year, set to join the league's elite group of pass catchers. At 6'3", 218 pounds, Coleman is a physically impressive wideout and has the upper hand in most physical battles against defensive backs in this league. But there's so much more to his game than just physicality. Coleman is quick, explosive, and a great route runner, constantly showing an ability to get open and pick up yards after the catch. Coleman has just turned 22, and he's only going from strength to strength in his sophomore season in the pros. Crucially though, Allen trusts him in the biggest moments, including the fourth quarter 4th and 2 touchdown pass against Baltimore, which kept the game alive with less than 4 minutes left. But even if defenses are able to deal with Coleman, there's so much else you have to contend with on this unit. Khalil Shakir was the team's top receiver in 2024 with 821 yards in what was a breakthrough year for the Boise State alum. Shakir was rewarded this offseason with a $15 million a year contract, which feels like great value for one of the league's most underrated receivers. Shakir and Coleman both have a great understanding with their quarterback and are both vital to how this offense functions. In addition to these two, the number 3 receiver on this team is ex-LA Charger Josh Palmer, who joined on a 3-year deal in 2025 free agency worth $36 million. Palmer gives this offense a different dimension as a real deep threat, and one that keeps defensive backs playing even deeper to counter this very real danger. This is good news for the tight end duo of Dawson Knox and Dalton Kincaid, both of whom have played a big role in this offense, particularly in short yardage situations, especially near the end zone. Overall, this passing attack has plenty of real weapons for Josh Allen to play with before we even get to the 2-time Pro Bowler in the backfield. James Cook managed 18 total touchdowns in 2024, more than Saquon Barkley, more than Jamar Chase, and the same amount as Derrick Henry, with only Jahmyr Gibbs bettering that total last campaign. Cook is a superb back and a great asset to have in the backfield in a goal line situation, especially when he's sharing that backfield with a quarterback as potent on the ground as Josh Allen. Cook isn't just a goal line threat though. He's managed over 1,000 rushing yards in both 2023 and 2024, and looks on course to achieve that again this time around. This is a durable tailback who can carry a substantial workload and keep this offense ticking whilst also being a legitimate threat through the air himself. Overall, this is one of the most well-rounded offenses in football. There's a real deep threat in Palmer, goal line threats in Kincaid, Knox, and Cook, and a receiving duo in Shakir and Coleman who really should be considered amongst the league's elite. Put all of these weapons in the hands of a quarterback like Josh Allen, and you have an undeniably scary unit on your hands. So, who's going to stop these Bills in the AFC? Well, for so many of the last few seasons, the answer to that question has been the Kansas City Chiefs, who have eliminated Buffalo in the playoffs in 4 of the last 5 seasons. But the 2025 Chiefs don't carry the same threat or aura as those previous editions, and they look vulnerable in a way that they haven't so far in the Patrick Mahomes era. Last year's Chiefs were constantly unconvincing, but still had an incredible knack for getting it done when it mattered most, coming out on top in 11 one-score games and finishing with an improbable 15-2 record as a result. In 2025 though, the Chiefs already matched last season's loss total by week 2. And they lack explosiveness in the passing game due to the suspension of Rashee Rice, injury to Xavier Worthy, and the decline of Travis Kelce, among others. Of course, Patrick Mahomes is still under center in KC, but he hasn't been anywhere near himself in the last 2 seasons, ranking 16th in passer rating in 2024, behind the likes of Tua Tagovailoa, Derek Carr, and Russell Wilson. And whilst Buffalo knows about his ability to carry out magic as well as any team in this league, the Mahomes fear factor is clearly not what it used to be, and this feels like the best chance yet to topple that red and yellow empire. And whilst the Chiefs are not as scary as they've been, the Bills absolutely are, and they look primed to fill that vacuum this season. Beyond the Chiefs, the most obvious threat to the Bills in the conference is Lamar Jackson's Baltimore Ravens. This is also a loaded offense, led by one of the league's other truly elite quarterbacks, a 2-time MVP, also capable of winning a game on his own when it comes to crunch time. But of course, the Bills faced off against the Ravens in Week 1 and battled their way to an exhilarating 41-40 comeback victory, which spoke to the Bills' incredible resilience and their refusal to accept defeat in the face of adversity. This was a real mental victory for Buffalo and a real statement to a Ravens team that they could well face in the playoffs again in January. Crucially, it also gives the Bills the tiebreaker over Baltimore, which could be vital at the end of the year for securing the number 1 seed, and home field advantage in the frozen north throughout January. An AFC Championship game in that weather, in front of those fans, that's a scary proposition for any team. Kansas City, Baltimore, anyone. The final piece of the puzzle for these Bills is the defense, which was solid in 2024, ranking 11th in scoring and complementing the league's second best scoring offense. Interestingly though, this defense did rank 3rd in turnovers, which says something for their ability to make big plays when it matters most. This defense is a gritty, hard-nosed unit that has a real ability to bend but not break and keep the offense in games until the very end. On the defensive line, the team is led by Gregory Rousseau, Daquan Jones, and new addition Joey Bosa, a 5-time Pro Bowler who was let go by the Chargers after 9 years in LA. Bosa is now 30, but he still has plenty left in the tank, and he adds another threat up front to this defensive unit. At linebacker, the team is anchored by Terrel Bernard and Dorian Williams, who combined for 221 tackles last season at the heart of the defense. And after a rough 2 seasons, which saw him miss 23 games with injury, the team is hopeful to get more out of Matt Milano, who was previously the beating heart of this unit. The last time that Milano was fully fit for a season, he was named first-team All-Pro as part of a defense that gave up less than 18 points a game. If he can stay healthy throughout this season, he and his teammates could have a real shot at that again, especially if returning cornerback Tre'Davious White can get close to the level he reached during his first spell in Orchard Park. But arguably the most important part of this team's championship formula is the experiences that have molded them in the last 5 seasons. This is a team that has been amongst the NFL's elite for 5 years now, and Sean McDermott and his coaching staff have racked up so much experience in this team on how to deal with these high-pressure moments. This is a team that has been through so much, and so much heartbreak, and yet it doesn't appear to have broken them at all. In fact, this Bills team looks mentally stronger than ever, primed for yet another run at glory. A team with that amount of experience and mental toughness, that's a scary combination for any team to face. When you put it all together, Allen playing at an MVP level, a supporting cast that hits you at every angle, and a defense that steals possessions, Buffalo look more complete than ever. Add in the scars of 5 years worth of heartbreak, and you've got a team hardened for the moment. The truth is simple. The Bills aren't chasing anyone anymore. They are the hunted. So the only question is, will 2025 finally be the year Buffalo ends the drought and hoists the Lombardi Trophy? Drop your thoughts below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more NFL content all season long.